Hey guys, what's up? I am back with a brand new video and it's time to do a speed test comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A23 versus the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 as well as the A23, and both phones is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 680 processor with a 6GB of RAM. On the back we have quad cameras on both phones. We have 50 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide with a 2 megapixel macro and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. While on the Samsung, we also have a 50 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization. Also, we have 5 megapixel ultra wide with a 2 megapixel macro and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And the back on both phones is made up of plastic, and the frame also is made up of plastic. And both phones also has a fingerprint scanner on the side, and you can see, and the frame of the Redmi Note 11 is a little bit more flat, and you can see as compared to a rounded frame on the Samsung A23. On the bottom we also have a headphone jack on the Samsung, and the headphone jack is also available on the Redmi Note 11 on the top. Also on the Redmi Note 11 we have dual speakers, while on the Samsung we only have a single speaker. Also, the Redmi Note 11 is costing around 38,000 PKR, while the Samsung is costing around 48,000 PKR in the Pakistan market, but internationally both phones comes in the same price range. So in this video I'm going to show you how is the Snapdragon 680 inside the A23 is stacked up against the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 with the Snapdragon 680 processor as well. So without any wasting time, let's get right into it. Like always, now let's quickly boot both of these phones up at the same time. Here we go. Logos came up first on the Samsung. Also in the haptics, it is also much better on the Redmi Note 11. We have Android 11 with MIUI 13 versus Android 12 with Samsung One UI version 4.1. And we have latest Android on this phone. Let's see who is going to be the fastest one when it comes to booting up. And the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 is more faster when it comes to booting up with the Samsung A23 by a huge margin, and you can see about 4 or 5 second difference there. And guys, now let's talk about the displays between these two devices. On the Samsung we have 6.6 inch Full HD Plus PLS LCD display with 90Hz refresh rate, while on the Redmi we have 6.4 inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display with 90Hz refresh rate. Also we have punch hole on the Redmi versus a V-shaped notch on the Samsung. Also, and the bezels around the display, it is also more thinner on the Redmi Note 11. Everything's closed up in the background, no application is running in the background. Also we have same Wi-Fi network on both phones. Now let's opening our phone dialer. That is a tiny bit more faster on the Samsung. Next on the list is the settings, again more faster on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11. Now let's go to the display on both phones, and you can see we have a adaptive 90Hz refresh rate versus a fixed 90Hz on the Redmi Note 11, and that's really big difference. Now let's opening up Amazon shopping with same Wi-Fi network, and the Redmi Note 11 is a tiny bit more faster, and you can see not a huge difference. So now let's see the scrolling, and that is feels exactly the same on both phones because we have 90Hz refresh rate, and the 90Hz it is also really optimized on this phone. That's really good thing, no issue in that area. Now check out some games application. Opening up the Candy Crush Saga. Both phones has a Snapdragon 680, exactly the same on both phones, and you can see. Let me show the speakers. It's the Redmi Note 11 with max volume. Speakers is one of the best on this phone. Here's the Samsung with the single speaker. And the single speaker it is also really good on the Samsung, but those speakers is on another level. Instagram faster on the Samsung. Let's see pinout. Pinout is exactly the same on both phones, which is obvious. We have a Snapdragon 680 on both phones. Now let's open Snapchat, faster on the Samsung. Let's see Subway Surfer. And Subway Surfer is exactly the same on both phones, and you can see in the start inside the Samsung is a tiny bit more faster, but you can see very similar speed. Now let's opening up the Temper N2, and Temper N2 should be very similar on both phones. Yes, it is. and this time the Samsung is a tiny bit more faster, but not a huge difference, about half a second difference there. And you can see Samsung is a tiny bit more faster this time. Now let's opening up the PUBG mobile, and the PUBG is open up a little more faster on the Samsung, and you can see, so looks like the Samsung is overall a little more faster as compared to the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11. Yes, it is a tiny bit more faster there. Samsung is done. Redmi, it is also right behind there, about 1 or 2 second difference there. Now let's opening up the Twitter, and the Twitter is faster on the Samsung. Now let's open Zedge, and Zedge is faster on the Redmi Note 11, but very similar, and you can see. Now let's see the scrolling. The scrolling is also really smooth. 90 Hz is working absolutely fine. So last time I'm launching the cameras on both phones, default camera application. Let's see who is going to be the fastest one. Now let's opening up the camera. That is more faster on the Redmi Note 11 as compared to the Samsung. Again, we have main 50 megapixel main camera on both phones, but we have optical image stabilization on the Samsung, so the performance of the camera, it is more better on the Samsung. Now let's look at the front facing camera. Here is the front facing camera looks like, and you can see, and the front facing camera, I feel it is more better on the Samsung. Yes, it is, but not really good front facing camera on both phones. The Infinix Note 12 with the G88 has the best front facing camera in this price range so far. Okay guys, now let's see internet browsing speed. I am seeing the first Samsung internet browser on the A23 versus a Google Chrome on the Redmi Note 11. Opening up wikipedia.org with same Wi-Fi network. Redmi Note 11 is a tiny bit more faster. So now let's see the scrolling, and 90 Hz is working more good on the Samsung because it's like a 90 Hz, while on the Redmi Note 11 it is on 60 Hz. I can feel that. So now let's open English. That is very similar this time. Let's see the scrolling this time. Again, scrolling is more smoother on the Samsung. Adaptive refresh rate, it is really optimized on the Samsung, but the Redmi, it is on 60 Hz. I don't know why. Next on the list is the apple.com. Faster, and that is very similar on both phones. Now let's see the scrolling. Again, that is more smoother on the Samsung as compared to the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11. And guys, now let's see RAM management on both phones, and both phones has a 6 GB of RAM. Now let's see that who is performed good in the RAM management. We have a lot of application in the background. Phone dialer, no refresh. Settings, Amazon shopping, no refresh. Let's see Candy Crush Saga, refresh on the Redmi Note 11 but not on the Samsung. Instagram, let's see Pinout. Let's see Snapchat, Subway Surfer. Let's see Temper and 2. Let's see PUBG Mobile, no refresh. Now let's opening up the Twitter. Zedge, no refresh. And last, we're back to the internet browser where we left, and you can see. And guys, what I have to say regarding the app's opening speed, as you can see that, and the Samsung A23 is a tiny bit more faster in the Subway Surfer, Temper and 2, as well as in the PUBG Mobile. So the performance is a tiny bit more optimized, more faster, I would say, on the Samsung A23. But as far as the system-based application are concerned, and that is very similar on both phones. In terms of the RAM wise, and the Samsung A23 is performing excellent in the RAM management, while on the Redmi we only have one refresh. And both phones has a 5000 mAh battery size. We have 33 watt fast charging versus a 15 watt fast charger in the box, but the A23 is also support 25 watt. So that's about it, and thank you so much for watching this speed test comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A23 versus the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding between these two devices. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.